Greetings, pilots and passengers. I'm back in my kitchen again. It's like, what a surprise. But there is a reason, because I feel like every time I want to film a positive video, I kind of got to move around a little bit more and just have a bit more space. Maybe it should be a series of, kitchen positivity. We'll see. But today, I wanted to talk a little bit about we the people, us, all of us together, because the title of this video is along the lines of it's in our hands, and it is. At this point, everything is just down to us. But before we get into that, I just want to do a quick reminder. If you want to support the channel, please subscribe to Dare to Fly Today, get ready to take flight, turn them notifications on, like and share this video with others. I do also want to give a couple of shout outs before I get into it to a couple of wonderful people who have, well, you're all wonderful, but a couple of shout outs to Bryn, who has shared my content, has constantly been there supporting my channel and has really helped me out recently. So thank you so much, Bryn, lots of love to you, and I love reading your comments. And also to Rotten Politics, who shared my video on censorship and sent a really lovely message of support, and it just was really humbling and really lovely to see. So thank you so much, both of you guys, and just thank you all of you as well. Love you all very much. Now, so what I wanted to talk about today is us, and that now it's all in our hands. Us as people right now are very divided. I think the majority of people are so divided, and it all boils down to these elites and the propaganda being pushed out by the mainstream media, who we all know lied to us and really don't have our best interests at heart. And because of this division, it forces people to be negative and forces people to be against each other, even when there's nothing to be fighting over. The mainstream media like to make up things to fight over, and it works. Just think about what they say about the coronavirus and lockdowns and all that. It's keeping people apart, it's dividing people. You can't be around each other, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's keeping people apart, which is not human nature. It's not human nature to be away from people. We want to be with people, we need to be with people to flourish, to grow, to develop ourselves. We need other people. And because of all this negativity which is being pushed on us, and a lot of people, even sometimes me, I fall victim to it too. It's easy to become negative. It's easy to sort of assume everything's going downhill and everything's getting worse. I mean, I see people tweeting all the time about the Great Reset, Agenda 2030, all these things that, yes, they exist, and yes, they are a plan, but they are a plan. Plans don't always work. When you have a plan, it doesn't always go through and it doesn't always get the results you want. So keep that in mind with them things. But it's down to us now. It's all in our hands. It's in your hands. And there's multiple ways to look at that. Number one, it's in your hands whether you be positive or negative. It's all down to you. The mainstream media can put negativity out, but you choose how you respond to it. You choose how you respond to these lockdowns. When the lockdown was announced, I was pretty raged. I was raggy. I was annoyed. I was irritated. I was absolutely fed up. I was like, oh, for God's sake, we're doing this again. And I was mainly mad because I couldn't go to the gym. And I like going to the gym. That's like, mine and my dad's thing. We do that together. And that really peed me off. But then I sort of, after a while, it wore off. And now I don't really care. I mean, I care that our freedoms are being taken away, and I get upset for other people who fall so victim to these lies. I get upset for them. But I just know that at the end of the day, this will just get exposed and I can just keep living my life normally. I don't have to follow this new normal. But the point being there is that I chose how I responded to that. I mean, at first I was very negative, but then I just sort of looked at it as, well, what do I actually have versus what I don't have? And I focused on what I do have. I have a house. I'm with my family. I'm with my loved ones. I get to do what I'm doing, my passion, follow my dreams. I'm part of a wonderful online community. I get to spread love and light. So all of those good things kind of just, outweigh all of the bad things. So it's a wasted energy is the point. It's wasted energy. So you have the choice here. It's in your hands with how you respond to things and how you use your energy. So do you choose to be positive and look at things positively, or do you choose to be negative and fall victim to the mainstream media agenda, the elite's agenda? Because darkness feeds off darkness. If you're going to be fearful and negative, the dark will just feed off that and suck that energy up just so they can spit it out again back to us. And secondly, it's in our hands with how we come together to fight this. We, the people, need to come together and take action. I'm not saying you have to go on protests. I'm not saying you have to do these things that if you're not comfortable doing it, then don't do it. Part of that can just be simply being aware and awake and just maybe thinking a little bit deeper into things, researching things for yourself, but also speaking up, because speaking against the grain, speaking against what's happening is only going to wake more people up and force people to question things. Maybe if you said to someone about some statistics, some false statistics that got put out by the mainstream media regarding the coronavirus, and they responded badly to it, you don't know when they go home how they're going to be thinking about that. Deep down, subconsciously, they're likely sort of thinking, well, I haven't heard that. Where did that come from? And then they want to start doing things for themselves. So think about it that way. Everything you share positively, trying to expose the truth, trying to expose corruption, trying to get disclosure going, will have a positive impact on everyone, whether you see it or not, because you don't always know what happens behind closed doors, do you? And that is just obvious with everything. Another one is, obviously, like I mentioned, protests. If you go to a protest, you go to a march, you go to a rally, you're letting your voice be heard. Just make sure you do it safely. Just make sure you're doing it peacefully and with love and light and good intentions, because when people come together and their voices are heard, change can happen, and change can happen pretty quickly. And there's a lot of people doing that right now, getting their voices heard, speaking out, shouting, screaming, saying, come on, we don't want this anymore. They are being heard, and I think you don't hear about it because the mainstream media don't want you to know that they're speaking out. Ultimately, it's your personal responsibility with how you deal with these situations. It's not for me to tell you what you can and can't do. It's not for me to tell you how you should be speaking out, how you should be responding to situations. It's all down to you. It falls perfectly into this whole message of start looking inwards rather than looking outwards. And I've hit on that before, but it's more important now than ever, because if you start focusing on the external influences such as the mainstream media, the elites, government, negativity, people who are seen as the opposing side, if you start focusing on that, you'll just absorb it like a sponge. You'll just turn into a sponge and start sucking it all in. And then that will start draining your energies and you'll feel pretty pants. So it's not worth your time. It's not worth their time. And it's a waste of time. So once you start looking at the internal influences, so yourself, and realise you are the ultimate influence in your life, then, it's in your hands. You can make positive changes. You can do whatever you like. And once people start realising they can do whatever they like in terms of taking control of their life, then they will stop caring about the external influences and you won't need them anymore, because you'll realise that your needs right now aren't there. They're not on the outside, they're on the inside. If I could say one thing, it's that we need to come together right now because it's all in our hands. We need to start taking more action. That can be as simple as being aware, speaking out. Once you start taking some action, You'll make some connections you didn't realise. You'll make some friends who you really need. You'll start having a really positive influence on yourself, those around you and the world, which we need because we need to come together as a community, as one being. We need to just all come together rather than be divided, because remember, it's divide and conquer. It's not divide and love one another. And once we're divided, it's so easy for us to be controlled because, you know, the Scooby-Doo gang, every time they split up, they're screwed really. It all goes a bit peaked on. But once they're together as a gang and start figuring out the mysteries as a team, they find the bad guys. Just think about how you can reach out to people, how you can spread love and light, and how you can connect with others. Then start taking some action. Start encouraging others to do their own research, encouraging others to think for themselves, and encouraging others to be positive. Because being kind, being positive, being a lovely human being is as simple as a smile, is as simple as saying a few nice things, and is as simple as self-love and taking care of yourself and being your number one. Because the darkness don't like powerful people who say no. So just say no. Remember that, just say no to these idiots who, you know, run this country. These idiots who think they can run the world, and these idiots who want a new world order. Because that ain't happening. I say no, you say no, we say no. So to wrap up, it's in our hands. It's in your hands, it's in my hands, we're together. And once you start realising that, positivity will just come to you like bees on a flower. I don't know, I sound so dumb saying that, but it's true. Let me know what you think, if you can relate to any of what I've said, or what your thoughts on us coming together as one to be positive, to be a community. Us as the people coming together to fight for justice, disclosure, and ultimately fighting against this division. Because I love reading your comments. I really do love reading all of your comments, and I love you all so much. I'd like to say that if you'd like to support the channel, please subscribe to Dare to Fly Today and get ready to take flight. Turn on notifications so you get notified every time I upload a video. Like and share this video with others. Thank you all for the support so far, it's been amazing. If you'd like to support Dare to Fly even further, you can make a one-off donation to my Ko-fi page or my PayPal, which will buy me some rocket fuel, and the links to both of those are down below in the description box. So thank you all so much for the support. I love you all so much. I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed day wherever you are in the world, and I hope you all, if you were celebrating Thanksgiving, had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Stay awake, stay true to yourself, and stay blessed. And as always, fly high, fear less.